wanted to talk a little bit more about forgiveness. I was at a gathering not too long ago, and I overheard a conversation between my partner and one of their relatives, and she was trying to tell him that, you just need to forgive them, you need to let it go. And it's easy for people to tell other people that, but when the same situation is happening to them, it's a different story. When it comes to forgiveness, as I stated before, if you don't feel it deep down in your heart at that time to do it, forcing yourself to do something that you do not feel could be very detrimental. What it is you're cheating yourself. You're not being honest with yourself. You're lying to yourself. And you're putting yourself in a position where you feel that you have to be fake and phony with people in order to just get along. There's an old phrase I used to hear back in the day called, sometimes you got to go along to get along. That doesn't apply in this case. It really doesn't. Sometimes silence is the best weapon that you could possibly have. And the only thing that you could do is just be still and just be quiet until you get to that point where you feel that you're willing to let it go. And it can take a while. And some people feel that, you have to do it within a certain period of time and blah, blah, blah. But sometimes if you have the reputation of just willing to let stuff go all the time, it will attract people that'll take you through some bullshit. Let me give you a case in point, and then I'm going to let you guys go. This is going to be a short one today. Let's say that you're the type of person in a relationship, whether it be a family or a job, you're the go-to person. People go to you all the time, whether it's, money or favors or a shoulder to cry on or whatever, because you're just that type of person. You're approachable, and if you have the resources, you give it to them. You're just that type of person. You don't have any overall ill will towards anybody. But you're trying to live your life the best way you can, to be giving, to be fruitful, try to avoid any drama, try to live in peace. But you have to understand that there are some people out there who do not live in that space. They do not understand why you would live in that space, and they're actually looking to see the ugly in you because it satisfies them. It feeds their darkest desires to see you out of character. They get off on it. And they see that you're a giving person. They come into the picture taking advantage. And they'll watch you. They'll watch your behavior. They'll see people doing stuff to you, running in and out of your life and everything, and the first thing you'll say is, okay, I'm not going to fool with them anymore. I'm just going to forgive them and keep it going. And they'll figure, you know what, then if that person can do it and get away with it, then I can. And I know this is a bitter pill to swallow, people, and you're like, oh, Lord, you're trying to tell us to be paranoid. No, I'm not trying to tell you guys to be paranoid, but what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to give you the truth about the nature of some people. Some people are in such a dark headspace that they don't know what light is. And to them, their day-to-day is about drama. Their day-to-day is about negativity and anything having to do with anything that's evil. And it's unfortunate. It is. So you living in your peace, you living in your truth is a good thing for you, but it's a bad thing in their eyes. And they see that as a threat because deep down they know they can't live in that space. So what they'll do is they'll take your good qualities of kindness and a listening ear and generosity, and they come into the picture trying to take advantage of it. And some of them do it in hopes that you will go out of character, so they can stand there and point their fingers at you and say, aha, I told you so. So let's say workplace. Just say you're the person at the workplace who just gives. Somebody comes onto the scene, probably relatively new, and the minute they see you, they're taken from you. Oh, I need money for lunch. I forgot my lunch. Oh, I need a ride to this, that, and the other because I don't have this. Or, oh, I need somebody to talk to because my boyfriend or girlfriend's giving me a hard time. And they just take it and take it and take it and take it. And as soon as you're out of the picture, They're talking shit about you behind your back, and it gets back to you. It's to the point where you got most of the co-workers thinking negative things about you, and then of course there's always that one person who comes back and tells you everything. Now mind you, you already know that you're in the workplace. Your purpose is to perform a job and to get a paycheck. But while you're there, you don't need any bullshit. So you go to the person and you're asking, of course they lie and everything else. And it just turns into this huge, stupid mess that has no business going on. So you figure in your mind, you know what, I'm just going to forgive them because, I already know what they're about. I know they come from a bad headspace, blah, 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 blah. And that person just continues on and on and on and on. There are people like this in the world, people. That's why I'm trying to advise you of this. There are people like this in the world. My point is, you can't just immediately turn the other cheek. You can't just immediately say you're going to forgive somebody when they do you wrong. You have to take things on a case-by-case basis. You have to look at the whole situation before you decide if you're going to forgive right away. And unfortunately, some doctrines are teaching you right away to just instantly forgive every single person who comes across you. There is a time and point where you have to defend yourself and speak up for yourself. And sometimes you simply speaking up for yourself and just laying the law down, that's enough to shut them up and get them out the way. But you can't sit there and just use forgiveness as a defense in lieu of defending yourself. Sometimes you got to call people out on this shit. It's the truth. And some people are so afraid of speaking that truth to that person, they would rather go under the guise and say, well, I'm not going to say nothing to him. I'm just going to forgive him and let it go. No, don't run from the situation. Some people have to be called out on their bullshit because they probably never been called out on it before, and they need that one time so they can back the hell off of you. Sometimes you have to fight for your peace, people. And sitting up here saying that you're going to forgive everybody that do you wrong because you're afraid to confront them, that's not the way to go. Because your reputation for being afraid of not confronting people is going to draw more people that are going to do you wrong. Because they already know in their mind you ain't going to do shit about it. So just choose your battles wisely. Choose them wisely. Have a great day.